Lesson 13. Belief in Resurrection and Reckoning. No one but Allah knows the time of the hour. Then comes the blow of stunning and the blow of resurrection, when everybody will be resurrected for reckoning. Then people are mustered to the ever greatest situation, the day of ruling. In the day of ruling, people will be exposed to the greatest fright, which will be increased or mitigated according to their balance of deeds. Everyone will see his balance of good and bad deeds, as they will be weighed with a balance unknown to us. All people after that will be pushed to the bridge, Sirat, that spans the hellfire. Those whose bad deeds overweigh the good ones will fall in hell. Example, disbelievers and polytheists. Whereas the obedient, benevolent believers will be rescued to the eternal paradise. Evidence of Quran and Sunnah. The blow and the resurrection. Allah says, "This means, and the trumpet will be blown, and all who are in the heaven and all who are on the earth will swoon away, except him whom Allah wills. Then it will be blown a second time, and behold, they will be standing, looking on, waiting." Allah says, "This means that day mankind will proceed in scattered groups, that they may be shown their deeds." Allah says, "This means, and when the graves are turned upside down and they bring out their contents, then a person will know what he has sent forward and what he has left behind of good or bad deeds." Allah says, "This means, knows he not that when the contents of the graves are brought out and poured forth, all mankind is resurrected?" Allah says, "This means, it is a day whereon mankind will be like moths scattered about." The reckoning. Allah says, "This means, and we shall set up balances of justice on the day of resurrection. Then none will be dealt with unjustly in anything. And if there be the weight of a mustard seed, we will bring it, and sufficient are we as reckoners." Allah says, "This means, and the weighing on that day, day of resurrection, will be the true weighing. So as for those whose scale of good deeds will be heavy, they will be successful by entering paradise. And as for those whose scale will be light, they are those who will lose their own selves by entering hell, because they denied and rejected our ayat, proofs, evidences, verses, lessons, signs, revelations, etc. Allah says, "This means, so whoever does good equal to the weight of an atom or a small ant shall see it, and whoever does evil equal to the weight of an atom or small ant shall see it." The bridge, Sirat. Allah says, "This means, there is not one of you but will pass over it, hell. This is with your Lord, a decree which must be accomplished. Then we shall save those who used to fear Allah and were dutiful to him, and we shall leave the zalimun, polytheists and wrongdoers, etc., therein, humbled to their knees in hell." Paradise and hell. Allah says, "This means, whosoever does an evil deed will not be requited except the like thereof, and whosoever does a righteous deed, whether male or female, and is a true believer in the oneness of Allah, such will enter paradise, where they will be provided therein with all things in abundance, without limit. Allah says, this means, and those who disbelieved will be driven to hell in groups, till, when they reach it, the gates thereof will be opened suddenly like a prison at the arrival of prisoners. And its keepers will say, did not the messengers come to you from yourselves, reciting to you the verses of your Lord, and warning you of the meeting of this day of yours? They will say, yes, but the word of torment has been justified against the disbelievers. It will be said to them, enter you the gates of hell to abide therein. And indeed, what an evil abode of the arrogant. And those who kept their duty to the Lord will be led to paradise in groups. There are other proofs in the Holy Quran and Sunnah.